Hello, I'm Fred Dengler, co-founder of the Mikal Corporation, and this is our Mikal 7 GUI software applications for salon spas and medical spas. And I'm going to work out the appointment book for you a little bit today, give you some ideas on how the appointment book works. First off, of course, we're up for today. Here are all of our service providers, and also if you have rooms that need to be booked, they can be on here. We show 8 at a time, but we have unlimited numbers of service providers or unlimited number of columns for a service provider if they work with assistants. I've got this type of a look. If I click on one service provider, it'll show their appointments going out for the next 8 days. If I want to look at a group of people, I can do that. Pick certain people and select them. If I want to look at a certain physical resource, like just our pedicure chairs, and see what's booked and what isn't booked, I can look at that. So I've got all different kinds of ways to look at what's going on, in our salon. I'll go back to home here and just bring up the normal booking. And here we've already got some bookings. Gray means that the person's been booked, checked in, was taken, and has her point of sale done. Over here we've got another person that's been booked, a couple more that are booked here. And then we've got one over here that is booked and has checked in but hasn't been taken yet. Here's our calendar. We can look for any days. We can scroll ahead month after month. We can scroll backwards as well to look at previous appointments if we want to. We can look 4 days or 4 weeks ahead automatically. And, really just take a look at any part of our appointment book that we want to. If we want to go back to today's date, let's go ahead and bring that one back up and just click on it. A couple of things that you can do right in here. If I just want to go ahead and book an appointment, let's say for 12 o'clock with Betty White, come down here, click on it, and it's going to be a direct mail customer called in from a direct mail piece that we sent out. It's going to be a haircut for women. Has an upsell service script, so these things we hope you put in. If you offer the upsells, what we found is you usually book 1 out of 6 to 1 out of 4 people say, yeah, why not? And in this case, for a haircut, we read off, have you heard about our online booking specials? Weather plays havoc with our hair. It's dry and brittle. We have just the answer to this bad weather hair blobs. Our all-new deep conditioning treatment. It only takes 30 minutes and costs $15. How do you feel about that? If you want to add it to the search, you say yes. Use the same provider. If you say yes, it'll use Betty White again. If you say no, it'll search for someone else that's available, even for assistance. And then I can go ahead and search and book it. Put in who the customer's going to be, a couple of letters of their name. Brings up all the close matches. Brings up their booking card. If it was a chemical service, we'd know here that we need to add 15 minutes to their color service, and we can do that really easily in the system. And we finish up the appointment. How do they want to get their reminder for this? An email, a text message. We automatically send out reminders 2 days before the appointment, and we send them a reminder the day of the booking. And we don't want a work ticket right now. So it goes ahead and it books that in for the appointment for the day. Now, the other thing that we can do with this as well is we could move an appointment over. Let's say that I wanted to go into the move mode. Click on move. It tells me move mode. And I'm going to come over here. Do I want to move to that? Yes. I continue. And it's moved the manicure and the pedicure over here. If I also wanted to just move mode for the single piece and take it back here, I could do that as well. Move the selected single appointment. Continue. And it's put the manicure back here with Betty White, and it's still kept the pedicure over here with booth number 1, which means whoever's available would take care of that, since we're getting kind of booked up down here through our services. You can also automatically squeeze 15-minute appointments in. System's also smart enough when you do a booking to know that when you're booking a color service, let's go down a little ways and get a little bit more room in here. If I'm going to book a color service right here, and I want this to be a, let's see, color double process. That's a good one. Here's our upsell. We read that off. Continue. Search and book it. Who's the customer? Scroll on down to somebody we haven't used yet. Finish the appointment. They get their reminder. We could print a work ticket if we wanted to. And over here it shows that for this appointment, it starts the hair color. We've got 4 slots to start it. Then we have 30 minutes of automatic processing time where Betty White could take a haircut. I could book another haircut right in here. And then Jimmy's back again for the rinse and the style or the trim, whatever we do when we finish up our hair color. So the system's smart enough to know that Betty White can take a haircut in the middle here. It could know that Donna Mills, when she books a hair color, has to book it straight through, does not want to take a haircut in the middle. So what we call this is smart booking. You set up the rules in the system so that the receptionist or whoever comes up to the front desk and is booking the appointment doesn't need to know if they need bring down time, if they use an assistant. All of those things are automatically figured out. How much time each service takes. If somebody takes extra time, it's based on their specific booking rules. All of that works seamlessly and, like you saw, really without you having to do anything. We already went through the moves. Let me show you a couple of other things that are kind of interesting on the system. You've got SmartBook. Let's say I don't want to do all that. If somebody calls up and says, I'd like a hair color and I'd like it in 4 weeks. So you click on 4 weeks away and it starts with March. And then you're looking day by day. Well, that doesn't look very good. Let's look at the next day. Let's look at the next day. Let's look at the next day. And let's say this is all filled up and you're like, oh, I just don't know. I don't want to do this way anymore. Let's just go back to SmartBook. So go back to last month. And then we want to go to our SmartBook. And what I'm going to do here is first I'll put in the customer. Now SmartBook is a way to let the computer system do all the searching for you, so you're not paging and scrolling and looking, especially with multi-services. If somebody wants to come in for a haircut with Betty, pedicure with Martha, and a manicure with Wilma, you can put all these things in SmartBook, and it'll automatically go out and show you when all of those things can work, and it'll also try to book it up to 8 different ways based on the rules that you've got built into the system. So let's say we ask the customer what their name is. We bring them up. Pops up with their picture here. So if somebody is booking a double process color, we could take a look at this and see what we're getting into. And then you can do a day of the week. If she's got to come in on Tuesdays, it'll just look for Tuesdays. Let's just do first available. The service is going to be, let's say, a double process color. One other thing, too, here you've got information. If somebody calls up and says, tell me about your double process color, or tell me about your deep conditioner, or tell me about whatever it is, you can have the script right in here. So they just literally read off all the benefits of your deep conditioning treatment, and then you go on and you do the booking afterwards. So let's do the double process color. We'll select it. And then we put in the reason why they're coming in, their referral. We search for the appointment. And the system goes in. Look how fast that was. It automatically tells us when, the date and time, we could book that service, who the service provider would be with. I could keep paging down, looking at more dates, more dates, more dates. It would go out and find it, out to 2 years in advance. Let's just say that we pick that time. Go ahead and we book it. Book this appointment, yes. Looks good. They're going to get their confirmation. And we're done with it, and we can continue from there. That's how easy it is. So you can let SmartBook do the booking for you. Now, that might have seemed like it took a long time, but let me tell you, somebody calls up and says, I'd like to book an appointment, and you say, oh, what's your name? They give you the name, you confirm it, and they say, I would like to book the appointment. When could I get in, first available, for a, let's say, a men's haircut? And how did you hear about us? Oh, I'm coming in because of the Facebook page that you had. Search the appointment. It does all the searches. Any specific person you would like? Oh, I'd like Tim Brooks to do it. So we booked selected with Tim Brooks. Book for Bill Miller. Get him his confirmation. And we're done. So it did all the searching for us, automatically did all the booking. A couple of other quick things on the appointment book too. You can look at today's appointments and it'll come up on a screen for you here so you can check people in. Let's say Donna Miller comes in and we mark her as in, it's going to automatically check her in for all of her appointments that are going on that day. So anytime we click over here, we can look at our what we call our check-in system. The other thing that you can do is, besides looking at the check-in system, you can also go in and look at any customer that you would like to take a look at. If I bring up the customers, put in part of somebody's name. Let's look at Donna Miller here. Here's all of her personal information, all of her past and future appointments if you need to confirm an appointment or take a look at anything that has to do with the appointment book. And you're ready to go. I mean, very simple, very fast, slick. You're in the middle of booking an appointment, you can come up here to the time clock and you could clock somebody in if they needed to clock in for the day, or they could clock in. And she's in for the day. I had to know her password, so it took me a second there. Figure that out. You can also look at staff, inventory levels, your splash screen. Let's say the salesperson stops in and you need to reorder. I go to splash, click on products to reorder. It tells me what I need to reorder. I could print that, or I can clear it, hand it to the sales rep, or email it to the sales rep, whatever you'd like to do with it. If I wanted to see how my sales are going so far this day, I can go in and see what my service totals are, the numbers in dollars, service, retail, voids, refunds, how many bookings I've done, how many bookings for today, how many have canceled today, how many have canceled total. So you've got all of this available right from the front desk, and you're just pretty much going along and booking away. Book unlimited up to 2 years in advance. You can book standings, you can book squeezes, you can book days of beauty where it'll automatically look for up to 8 different service providers for 8 different services. It has upsell scripting, it has description scripts on it. It's really a total appointment book for you. And the beauty of it is, too, it all works with your online booking. So we put a button on your website, a button on your Facebook page. People click on it and they're booking online real time into your system. No extra charge for that. And you can also have the appointment book on each employee's smartphone so that they can book the customer's next appointment when they finish up in the room or when they finish up at the chair before they even come up to the front desk to pay. So that's a quick run-through on our appointment book. If you want a detailed run-through, if you want us to show you how it would work in your salon or spa, give us a call. The Mikal Corporation, 513-528-5100 or 800-448-5420. If you've got some ideas or want to contact us versus email, it's sales@mikal.com. Again, I'm Fred Dengler, co-founder of the Mikal Corporation, and thank you for your time.